One of the most overwhelming parts was the fact that for the first time, instead of just doing a general edit of my short story, edit with publishing in mind, which is a little different. I already filmed this once, but there was poor lighting, so we're gonna try this one more time. So as you guys have seen from my last video I posted, I had exciting news. I am getting published for the first time, one of my short stories. If you're interested in that, I will leave a link up above as well as down below for more information. Along with anything new comes tons of new processes and whatnot. Because I have anxiety and a lot of other things going on, this can be really, really overwhelming. One of the most overwhelming parts was the fact that for the first time, instead of just doing a general edit of my short story, which I have done before, this time I was also getting an edit done from an editor working with my publisher. So it was an edit with publishing in mind, which is a little different. I really didn't know what to expect. I'm very happy to report that it actually went really, really well. The editor that I worked with was absolutely fantastic, and the way she handled things was so calm and collected. Like, it put me at ease almost instantly, which was good, because prior to anything actually happening, of course, my fears built up a lot of stuff in my head. Like, will the editors absolutely chew me out? Is someone going to read my story and think, wow, that person thinks they can write? Like, I know we accepted her, but we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel with this one. Like, my head spun so out of control. And thankfully, I'm old enough that I know this is how my brain works. So I kind of knew that was going to happen. Most people have some level of fear of rejection. I think a lot of people do. I can't think of a single person that necessarily likes being rejected, unless that's your thing, in which case I'm not going to judge. I'm going to judge a little bit. For most people, being rejected really, really hurts. Me, I've had a problem with rejection most of my life, and it can be to the extent of I fear perceived rejection. Even if it's not an actual rejection, just perceiving a possibility of rejection can be a lot for me. Had to accept that and also try to, okay, so if there's stuff going on, which I can't necessarily confirm at this time for safety, what could I possibly do to ease the symptoms I am experiencing as much as possible? And I found a really weird one about 2 months ago, and I've been testing it out. Of course, there's the time, which is the first thing that I usually do. And, I think a lot of people say that, time heals all wounds. It's sappy, but it kind of does work in a way. Time eases the burn somewhat. And so for me, I really do have rules about not replying to criticism very quickly. I let it sit. So when I first got my edits back, which were in progress, they weren't finished yet, it was in progress, but I saw them while they were in progress, and it was all very mild and timid. But my brain was like, oh, but what if they find something else? They aren't complete with the edit yet, so they might find something they really hate, and they might decide they hate you. My brain was very much spinning, and I just kind of stepped completely away, and I didn't allow myself to open the link for multiple days until I got that email confirmation saying, okay, we're ready for you to look over everything except or talk to us about it. Stepping completely away was really important to just calm me in general, and a lot of people say that, so that's not necessarily anything new. Lying on the ground, just lying completely flat on the ground, not necessarily doing anything, not thinking about anything, not with any stimulus really, just lay down, flat as you can get. I don't know why it works, but it does kind of reset my brain weirdly, and I'm able to handle stressors easier. I don't know, it doesn't solve all my problems magically, but it does help calm my brain down considerably. It's kind of like a reboot in a way, like rebooting a computer. I also, of course, use tricks getting into really comfortable clothing, especially if I know I'm going to be stressed. So before the final edit came out, when I got the email for the final edit, before I opened it, I made sure I was in very, very comfortable clothing, trying to ease the stress levels in my body as much as possible because I know perceived stress was coming. And in the end, everything was fine, and there was no stress really, and it was totally chill, and it was huge relief. But I pretty much prepared myself, if something were to happen, what is a way I can handle it in as gentle of a way as possible for my body so I can process what's going on. Really, really ridiculous to a lot of people, especially considering my last video, which was very analyzing the situation, right? But like nobody seems to be talking about this, and like they're like, yeah, just analyze this, or like do this, and like think of it this way. And it's like, yes, that's useful. And that's what I tend to default to. I tend to default to analyzing. In defaulting to analyzing, I usually completely shut down and don't permit myself to have emotions regarding the situation. Like I just analyze, and I don't allow myself to feel anything. And there are just so many problems with that. The first one being that I don't often recognize when my emotional state is to a point that's bad until it becomes severe. And that's because like I don't really allow myself as many check-ins. So like doing stuff like this, like lying completely flat, being with my thoughts and allowing myself to feel and not like analyze that feeling right away. Like if I feel I have to because I can't figure something out, maybe, but I'm trying more to allow myself to just feel an emotion without necessarily immediately trying to analyze the living heck out of it. Because it works with kids too. Like little kids, even if they just lie flat, they're not necessarily sleeping, but they're like just allowing themselves to exist. When they get back up, they're usually fine. Like I've seen kids come from the brink of absolute terror that way. And it's kind of interesting that we have this idea that like adults don't need that. Like once you become an adult, you don't need these things. But it's just like, why have we decided that? Why have we decided that adults just need to struggle through an entire day and be stress, and that's just life. You just have to deal with that. Why can't we just lie down for 5-10 minutes, de-stress, and start again? I don't know. This is a really weird video, I'm sure. But I just wanted to kind of share that because I realized like I was doing that a lot, and it really has helped my stress levels. I don't hear anybody really talking about it except for people who are neurodivergent, either with ADHD or autism. I think this works for any stress. It's not just people who are on this spectrum. I think anyone who holds, like stress is held in the body regardless. Everyone holds stress. You hold it in your neck, you hold it in your jaw. How many times have you like had to unhunch your shoulders in the day? How many times have you had to unclench your jaw? Think about it. Are you having to do it now? Because chances are you are. Because I just did. I can feel the tension all along my back right now as I'm speaking. You guys have any tactics to release stress, release tension? Do you have anything you go through when you know you're going to be really stressed out, or you're going into a fearful situation and you're trying to like reduce the pain as much as possible? Do you have any strategies you use? I'm curious to see them. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in more videos like this or more information about upcoming stuff I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button down below and the bell notification. Thank you so much for watching. Get on the ground. Lie down for a bit. You'd be surprised.